These are handy things, aren't they? Yeah, so we've got our packs. Hopefully a lot of you guys will have much of your packs by now. If it hasn't arrived, yeah, just give it a couple of days and they are getting sent off. You don't really need packs for this one today, which is quite cool. I think we're on our third video or third workshop, fourth or fifth video. We'll see how it's going on anyway. But today, guys, basically we're going to be learning how to sprout some, for the workshop, going to be doing sprouting some seeds, sprouting some seeds in a jar. Basically, it's not kind of, I guess technically it's hydroponics, but it's not really. You just kind of allowing your seeds to germinate, draining them, and then just sat without any soil. So it's pretty straightforward. All you need is a jar and a couple of the materials that I've got on said list, which we're going to be looking into today. But it basically turns any kind of seeds into just edible sprouts. They're great. I think this is mustard and broccoli, I think I put in here. So yeah, so what you'll need for today is what you'll need is from your boxes, you're going to be needing a jar, even if you don't have a jar, a jar, some muslin or some mesh for the top, a rubber band, or if you're like me and can't find a rubber band for the life of you, some twine will do, and some seeds. Now we're going to be using seeds in from the packet. I think they are mung beans, chickpeas, lentils, split peas maybe in there. We'll double check from when we get these. Well, when we're checking the meeting or in the workshop. But you can use loads of different seeds. Kale's good to use, mustard seeds, broccoli seeds, cabbage seeds, even things from your cupboard like lentils, dried peas, anything that can grow from seed. Brassicas are usually quite good to use, which is your kale and your cabbage and your broccoli. But yeah, we're going to jump into that, and we're going to turn bag of seeds or bag of dried things into a jar of life things and green things. So yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll angle the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll jump into this one as well. I might even turn that angelic light off. There we go, a bit darker. Yeah, so catch us in 2 seconds and we'll get this started. Always get your cuppa ready as well. So catch you soon. This side. Okay guys, so what we've got is, this is I'll hold up this so you can see it. Maybe take a print screen if you need to have the step-by-step guide. But this is what we're going to be following, and I'm going to use this religiously as well. That's what we've got put on. So what you do need to do is you need to have your jar. You don't really need the lid anymore, so there is videos and kind of workshops and ideas of how to like turn these into a kind of a screw on top. You can figure that out. I think it's just using like a old-fashioned can opener and kind of making a circle around and then sticking some mesh on. For the sake of it all, it's quite elaborate in comparison to just covering this with some muslin, some thin kind of woven cloth. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take your jar, make sure it's as clean as possible, kind of rinse it out and make sure there's no food like molecules or some food bits on the side. And you're going to add about 2 tablespoons worth of seeds to this. Now I'm going to use about half this packet, and I can kind of have a couple of steps ongoing on how it's going throughout it, and maybe add some more into the next one. So without fully measuring, this is the mixture of the dried seeds and beans and peas and whatnot. So simply just put it into the jar there, and we're going to be wanting to get some warm water. This is just to rinse it off. So maybe fill it about, say that much. I don't know what quantity is that, but let that kind of stir it around or whisk it, or if you've got a spoon and you want to do it that way, or you do use this technique, feel free. As long as you kind of rinsing all the way around it and making sure that it's all coated in water and everything's kind of, it's getting a bit of food there. So the easy ones for you guys who have an elastic band, it's very simple. You're just sticking this over the top, holding it down, and then ping. There's your elastic band. I'm looking on my wrist to see if I've got anything that would do it, but I don't. So if you're like me and don't have access to an elastic band, or just can't for the life of you find an elastic band, you can just use some string or some twine. It works the same. It is what it is. So if you're doing this, you're gonna leave a little bit dangling, go to the bottom of the ridge, and then you're just gonna wrap around, leaving. It doesn't need to be too tight because you can tighten up as you're going, but making sure that all of the muslin is covered in a layer of the string. Oh, pull you down a bit. There we go. So around there, and then you can start kind of wrapping it a bit tighter. La 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 la. Or not as the case maybe. It looks a bit trendier as well. So once you've got this kind of wrapping around, obviously if you use an elastic band, it's a lot easier. So if I would advise anything in this this video is to get some elastic bands. Just means you can remove it or tie it off and remove it and put it on a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie this off, just a simple couple of knots. Just want to tie in my shoelaces. No, not even that. Oh, he's not doing that. Okay, so just to tie it off, double knot, one, and you can pull this down just to make it as taut and as tight as possible. I'll do me, double knot, and then we're going to move on to the next step. You can trim this as well if you want it to look fancy. So there we go. That's our start. So we've got our seeds, our sprouting seeds in the water, ready to go. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to turn your jar upside down and you're going to drain the water out of it. Okay, so there we go. So what I'm going to do now is, since that's going to sit, and I kind of want that to sink to the bottom. Come on, do it. So this is going to sit in a kind of warm, dark place. Keep it out of direct sunlight because it's in a jar, and if the direct sunlight's coming through a window and then it's coming through a jar, it's like holding a magnifying glass up against whatever you saw in the kids' cartoons. And then, yeah, it can really heat it up. So we want it in a dark place or darkish place, out of direct sunlight. It needs to be warm as well. So we're going to rinse these twice a day. So it is 4 o'clock on my watch. I will rinse it every 12 hours. Not 12. I'll rinse it before I get up, or after I get up, obviously. After I get up in the morning, and then about dinner time on the evening. And then we're going to do the same thing, rinse and repeat. You're going to pour water in, rinse it, repeat, and then I'm going to follow this over the next couple of days and these should start to sprout. So yeah, that's our first step. Catch us in the morning, I guess. I'm going to keep these away and catch you soon, okay? In a sec. Okay, so once you've drained it, what you're going to do is, so it's been rinsed, and you're just going to soak them overnight, just to kind of let them expand and give it a bit of moisture back to the seeds. So we're on about 4 o'clock now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them until I get up in the morning. Should hopefully be early doors, and then that's when I'm going to rinse and do the next step. Okay, so you simply just through your muslin cloth, you're just going to fill it about the same amount, and then we're just going to watch that expand in a dry, dark place, which is great over the night time because it's going to be dark anyway. So yeah, I'm going to leave it on the countertop just next to the sink, and yeah, we'll see how it goes in the next couple of hours. Okay, so catch us around 2 in the morning. I will drain it and then rinse and repeat. Catch us in a couple of hours. More than a sec. Bye! Okay, so guys, what I've done is I've left these a few days overnight and in a dark place. A few days overnight. I've left them for a few nights. And what I've done is, just to kind of be clear on what I said before, the instructions that we gave you and you've got is it tells you not to soak, or it doesn't say anything about soaking. So I just did 2. I did one where I didn't soak and one where I did. The soaking just kind of helps the process along, just kind of moistens the dried seeds up a bit. It might be a bit quicker, I think, from what I can see from what I've got here, which I'll put close to the camera, that the ones that were soaked just kind of started to germinate a little bit quicker. And it's using the exact same technique of just rinsing it out and constantly topping it up, rinsing it off, topping it up, rinsing it off, and once and twice a day. So I've done it every morning when I got up. I've done it just before I go to bed every night as well. So it's got a kind of constant twice a day that I've watered it, or I've rinsed them off and then drained them out. So I'll bring these across and then I'll show you what I've got. Okay, I'll just kind of do it there. So this is the first one that I've got, which did get soaked. So this has been going on for about 3 days now, maybe. As the same with this one, which has been going on for the same amount of time. A lot less sprouting, however, they are starting to come through. So once it gets to a bit, probably this point, I think because I've overfilled this jar with some of the seeds, I think it's going to have to go into a bigger home. So it's simply just pour them into a new jar, and then they'll just have more space to go. So as I said, all you're doing is every day, twice a day, you're getting some warm water, not spilling it on the floor like I did. Some warm water, just covering all of the seeds, give it a good rinse. And yeah, do this twice a day, and then you should be able to get some really good microgreens for them. And just simply pour it out into a glass or into a sink, making sure all the water's kind of out there, and then just sit it in the dark place again. The cupboard's ideal, an airing cupboard if you've got one of those, just somewhere out of direct sunlight. And yeah, that's good to go. These are super good super greens. I think they're getting called super greens now. That are quick and easy to grow and good for tops of sandwiches, pastas, salads, stuff like that. Yeah, and they're just quick and easy to grow. So that's that in a nutshell. That's from seeds to kind of food in like a week maybe. So show us how they're getting along. I'm going to upload the pictures on as these are going, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some more greens throughout the year. So you can, if you soak them, then by the time these are ready and eaten, these should be ready. So you can have a nice rotation. Different size jars get different amounts of seedlings, seed sprouting seeds. Yeah, we'll go with that, sprouting seeds. So yeah, do that, upload, show us what you've got, and yeah, enjoy your greens. And I'll catch you in the next video, which will be I can't remember what we're doing, maybe some propagating or something. So yeah, I'll catch you there. Really good to see you guys, and yeah, get growing, get stuff for the gardens, get something for home, and yeah, really good. See you later, and catch you next week, or mid-video, we'll see. Bye! Done.